Hey everybody, Alan Walker here. Hey, I wanted to give you an update on what's happening in our market here in Salt Lake. If you have followed me on Facebook, you know that I post weekly what the stats are, but I wanted to kind of consolidate that a little and talk to you about trends that we're seeing in the market right now. So one of the things that I start with whenever I'm looking at the market is how many active homes are there in Salt Lake County? Now, I actually look at active homes under 700,000. Our median home price is between 550 and 600 right now. And so I wanted to get a real snapshot for what most people are going to be buying. So we currently only have 508 active homes under 700,000 active in Salt Lake County. Now, to give you some perspective on that, at the end of October 2022, we had 1,170 homes. So that's less than half of what we had last October. Now, what's causing this? There's a couple of things. So everyone knows interest rates have gone up. And for a while last year, that actually meant that there were less buyers because they were a little afraid of it. They didn't want to go for it. Now I'm seeing buyers are much more comfortable with the 6% roughly that they're getting for their mortgage right now. What we aren't seeing is we aren't seeing sellers list. So typically April and May are the biggest listing months of the year, and we're just not seeing the inventory. And why is that? Well, from my conversations with sellers, a lot of their concerns are around, well, I have a 4% mortgage and I don't want to sell my house and then have to go get a 6% mortgage. So there's some stickiness happening there where we don't have the inventory coming on. And what does that mean? Well, it means for buyers who are out there looking, we are starting to see multiple offer situations. Now, let me clarify, we're not seeing, $50,000 over ask multiple offer situations, but we are seeing multiple offers. They are typically at list, maybe a little bit above list price. We've seen a huge equilibrium finally settle in where sellers understand what their house is worth and buyers understand what they're willing to pay. For many months last year, that was a chasm that we couldn't get past, right? So the other thing that I look at when I see what's going on in the market is I look at the days on market. Now, days on market is how many days while it's active before it actually goes under contract, right? So in the heyday in 2021, 2022, we were seeing like 5 days on market. So it was going very, very fast. That was when we were getting 15, 20 offers on a single property. Now what we're seeing is they're in the low teens. So depending on your price point, right? The different price points, it varies on how long it's going to be on the market because you have a bigger or a smaller pool of buyers that are actually looking at that house. But we're in the low teens right now, which is still extremely good. We got up to 40 and 50 days on market the second half of last year because everybody was kind of like, I don't know what to do. This market's kind of crazy. So we are seeing some normalization around what the buyers want. What we aren't seeing yet is we don't see the sellers selling. So we're still in a seller's market, but for very different reasons than last year. We're in a seller's market because the sellers aren't listing. Last year, we had a lot of buyers, or 2 years ago, we had a lot of buyers. We still have some buyers, but there are many buyers that have either had to leave the market because they can no longer afford the house they want at the interest rate they have, or they're waiting for interest rates to come down before they come back in. Now, here's the real trick. People fool themselves into thinking that just because the price is lower, that the mortgage and the manageability of it is cheaper. That's not necessarily the case. And here's what I mean. So a $500,000 house at a 3% interest rate versus a $400,000 house at a 6% interest rate, which one costs more? Well, typically we think of mortgage payments as what we can afford. It's not the number. It's not the number of the house. It's actually how much we have to pay a month. And right now, if you're buying a $400,000 house at a 6% interest rate, you're paying more than the people that paid $500,000 at a 3% interest rate. So it's a little counterintuitive. And the biggest thing to remember right now is if interest rates come down, what will happen? Well, the market is going to pick up and prices are going to go up, right? So it's really still about now is a great time to buy because even if your interest rate's a little higher, you're getting it when there's less buyers in the market. And if interest rates drop, you can refinance it later. So that's what's going on in the Salt Lake market right now. If you have questions on that, I'm always happy to chat with you. If you're thinking about buying or selling, I'm here for you. And if you have anything I can do for you, just let me know. Thanks.